viewers, welcome back to Battle Tested Beauty. I'm trying new angles and like a mic and stuff, so I apologize if anything is like a weird angle. I'm trying new stuff, okay? Or if like the sound is weird, I'm trying new things, okay? Today, I just want to sit down and get ready. I just want to put on makeup. I want to play with makeup, and I want to play with the makeup that brings me the most joy. So I'm going to just get ready and chat while I use my absolute favorites, my holy grails, items that I have been using for years or have just recently come into my possession. But like you know when a product is just stellar and it's going to be with you forever. I'm going to start out with the Tarte base tape. I am really enjoying this. This is a lot more like skincare than anything. It's very hydrating, doesn't leave any kind of feeling to my skin. I'm going to put this all over my face. It's got like a mildly greasy feeling to it, but for somebody with oily skin, I don't experience any problems with this. It just kind of like refines the surface that I'm working with and evens out all my oils. I'm gonna go on over top of all of that with my Glow Recipe Watermelon Glow Ultra Fine Mist. And this is it's not a setting spray, it's like a dewy hydrator. I know it seems kind of bougie and extra, but I like this extra layer of specifically that stuff. It's not sticky or anything, and it just adds just another layer of hydration. I want to go in with Farsali liquid powder. So this is another favorite. It's just like a liquid to powder serum. And I'm just going to put it on the spots that I get really greasy, but I'm going to avoid under my eyes. You don't use this stuff heavy either. Like, do not put too much of this on because you'll see it. So while that liquid powder sets in, I'm gonna give that about 10 minutes or so. I'm gonna go and do my eyebrows. So I'm gonna start lining them with my Morphe Micro Brow Pencil. I buy these by like the fives. Like I'll buy like 5 of them at a time because they're super duper cheap. The payoff is really good, the price is really good, and you just can't go wrong with that. So I'm using the color Mocha to line my eyes with. God, like drawing my eyebrows out is almost like archaeologically mapping ruins. Like you can see where there was a development at one point. You can see the outline of a previous society there, but it's just ruins. We can only guess at the original layout. Okay, so I've got some generalized sisters here, maybe cousins, whatever. Okay, and to fill it in, I'm gonna use this NYX Fill and Fluff eye pencil. It comes with this cool little paddle brush, like it's like an artiste brush type thing. I think it goes on relatively thickly, and this is going to significantly darken and cool off my brows as well too. And then I'm just going to start to feather it out a little tiny bit around the front and smooth it out towards the back. I think a lot of people really hate doing their eyebrows. I actually really love doing my eyebrows. So whenever I get a little too in my corners there, I dip into my cute little Mickey and Minnie tin here of Q-tips, of Q-tips. Hit a little micellar water and just clean that up a little tiny bit. Okay, so they're mostly the same. This one's got a little bit more arch than that one. Recently, I bought the Linda Hallberg Infinity palette. So I've got the original here. It's got 4 shades. And it's meant to be used wet, dry, on your face, on your body, your eyes, your lips, like anything at all. And honest to God, this is hands down the best purchase that I have made in years as far as makeup is concerned. I'm going to just go in here actually and use Cigar. So I'm just going to go in with an angled brush, set my eyebrows down a little tiny bit while I talk. I am so impressed with this. I'm not going to drag it. I'm actually going to like stamp it in a little tiny bit because I have so many bald spots on here that I can dislodge it completely. Yeah, I ended up buying this as an emotional purchase, and I felt horrible that Linda Hallberg and her team had been burglarized 3 times in the last year. So at the end of February, they were saying that they were burglarized again. So it was the Infinity palettes. I think some of their other more colorful palettes were taken. Like, they're a small independent company, so they work really fucking hard for everything, like anybody that owns their own business. And then to have like so many of their new launches stolen out of their warehouse in Sweden is just heartbreaking to hear. I always wanted the Infinity palette anyways. Like, this was something that I really wanted anyhow. I don't regret it in any way, shape, or form, although I do wish that I got the deep The Infinity Deep, I think I want as well as this one. This isn't unusable. Like, I can use this for tons of stuff. I just kind of want to play with some of the deeper shades that are in the Infinity Deep. But I use this for everything. So I'm not so much into eye primers. I am going to throw a little bit of foundation or concealer down though. And I'm just using the Morphe concealer here. This is in the color C2.25. And it's way too peachy. I have like serious peachy problems, I think. Actually, I'm just like bullshit at selecting base colors, period. For my base, I'm actually going to use a bronzer. This is from Lovecraft Beauty. I actually really like this as just like a base, like a transition shade on my eyes. I like this like mildly warm tone to it. Like the base of it is warm, but I prefer using bronzers as transition shades because they are so blendable. This is in the color Cymbeline, by the way. I'm gonna do my bottom lash line after I do my base. The brush I'm using is also one of my absolute faves as well too. This is one of those SL Miss Glams. I'm not really sure how to say that, but SL Miss Glam brushes. And this is their L50 brush. And then I'm just gonna blend this out in that beautiful way that bronzer can be blended out using this Farah brush. This is a 35E brush. See how nicely that blend out? Like, I love using bronzer for that. Okay, next I'm gonna go in with the Huda Beauty Mauve's Obsession palette. You'll notice that there's only one shade I really like in here, and that's that guy in the center. It made me question everything I've ever known about mauve because I kind of don't feel like these are mauve. My understanding of mauve was not that. I'm a little confused about that, but I'm not mad about it. I've got this Sigma E25 blending brush that I'm going to use. This is another one of my holy grails. I'm just going to build this into my crease, and I'm not going to go with anything fancy today. I like this color in particular. I think it just suits my eye color really well. Truth be told, Huda Beauty is not my favorite eyeshadow formula at all. I find that Huda, especially the shimmers and sparkles and like any of those kind of like weird finishes, they disappear pretty quick. And I think that has a lot to do with the shape of my eyes, like because so much of my eye is just sitting down over top of the other eye that it's just like all day long. But it would be nice if they'd stuck around. And before you're like, hey, use some eye primer, I have never found eye primer to be of that much use, to be honest. It'll punch up the color of my eyeshadow when I initially put it on, but it's not going to help my eyeshadow stay any longer. I'm going to further deepen my crease a little bit with this KVD, that other one, Kendo Vegan Discovery Vegan Artist, formerly known as Kat Von D. I don't know what to call it. I'm really confused, and I wish they would sort their shit out. Oh, this is in the shade Lolita, and I guess that was their like breakaway lipstick or whatever, and she made an eyeshadow out of it. I happen to really like it. So it's like a deep mauve, I guess, if we're gonna call this all mauve. That's a deep mauve. So I wanna keep it in my crease and like low down here. Once I do my lower lash line and a little liner, it won't look too crazy. Ooh. And I'm using a Vasanti contour eyeshadow brush. It doesn't have a name or anything like that. It's just the Vasanti contour eyeshadow brush. Vasanti is kind of like a higher end drugstore brand here in Canada. And once more going over with that Farah brush just to buff out those edges there. And I'm kind of like letting it get dragged out a little tiny bit. Just like kind of create a little tiny bit of a halo eye. So I'm just going to put a little bit of concealer down. I don't have any kind of real serious affectations for this particular concealer, this Morphe concealer, but I do use it very frequently to cut my creases. Well, that was rude of my camera to have turned off on me. But turns out I didn't like the camera angle anyway, so that's why I'm looking a little bit different now. And I also have significantly more makeup on. While my camera was so rudely not recording, I went in with my Violet Voss Holy Grail palette. It's literally called the Holy Grail palette while I do my Holy Grail video. So I went in with the color Cool Beans, which is this kind of like cool pink kind of color. It's very neutral, very low key. It's kind of the vibe I'm going for today. And then in my inner corner, I put Ploof and a little bit of crystal right on the eye nuggets there just to brighten it all up. And I've left my lower lash line bare because I'm going to do my base still. I also went in with Maffei and Milky Way, and I just highlighted my brow bone a little tiny bit. So anyways, that's what happened while we were gone. Sorry about that. I'm glad I didn't get too far. My holy grail of all foundations, the best foundation I have ever used is this Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay All Day makeup. I use 3N2 Wheat. I Love this foundation though. I do recommend that you go get yourself a pump. You can buy a pump from Estee Lauder. I honestly just bought mine off of like Amazon or something like that. I got 2 in the set as well too, and it was like $8. So I just put a little on my little palette there. This is also a little too peach for me. It's just like, oh, it's my problem. I'm just not peach enough. I'm gonna mix into that this Touch and Soul No Porbrum Prime Essence. I never say it correctly, but I'm gonna mix that in there, and it's very, very watery. This is just like a little bit of a hydrator. It gives this a little bit more slip. I put about 3 drops in there. And then I'm also gonna mix into there this Farsali Liquid Glass Make Skin Serum. I don't know why they named it that. So this is just like a shimmer, I guess. Now you may be asking, Nicole, you're very, very greasy. Why have you done such a thing? Now double wear, people don't like double wear because it sits strange. A lot of people, it can make their fine lines look a lot worse. If you have dry skin, this is gonna not be so great for you, I'm not gonna lie. But there's ways around it, like mixing it with stuff. So I mixed it up and I'm just gonna, oh yeah, look at that, it's like perfect. I'm gonna use this Sigma Max Kabuki brush. This is from their 3D HD line. It's got this like really cool shape. I'm gonna use that and I'm gonna stipple it all over my face. I love the shape of this. I don't swirl for the most part. You know, like I don't buff. I'll buff down here. That's okay, I can do that. But in this area where all my pores are, very, very pronounced, I don't swirl. I pat it all in. So even when I like thin it out with a whole bunch of products, you still get such beautiful coverage out of it. This makeup will last through some craziness, and this is one of the major reasons why I love this foundation so much. It will live through rolls in jiu-jitsu, and I even made a video of it where I rolled with a brown belt, and we had some nice fun sparring rolls. Like it was just, we were being playful and everything. We're both kind of like competitive people too, so it did get turned up at a couple points. I didn't look like a freaking rock star, but my makeup was actually pretty decent afterwards. I love the finish of this foundation so much, especially mixed like that. As like full strength double wear will give you like full coverage. Like it's full coverage. It is such a lovely foundation. But if you struggle with it, definitely mix it with something more viscous, I guess. You know how some foundations, like you can move it around, it'll transfer a little bit. No. Double wear is there for the day. I'm gonna switch to this Precision Beauty Latex Sponge. I buy these at Winners all the time. You can get them as a 2-pack for like $5.99 or something like that. I prefer to use a sponge on my nose because I find that brushes dislodge stuff, and my nose is just too, I don't know, it's just a different texture than the rest of me. I've only introduced brushes recently because I came across brushes that work for me, and I think a lot of it has to do with like the right type of brush or the right quality brush. So you can still see my skin peeking through, you can still see some of my, you know, like my discolorations and whatnot, but I'm more or less one even skin tone. We got the foundation down. I'm gonna conceal a little bit using my Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Concealers. So I have them in the color 5.5 and 6. This honestly has like just an absolute piss poor shade range. I'm really surprised by this. Or at least I don't understand its shade range at the very least. Because I think there was like a 7 and then that was it. It's not deep, this is 6. It is not deep. I'm just gonna do my little kitty whiskers and we're just gonna let a couple spots there. And then I'm gonna go in with 5.5, just a little bit under my eyes. Not too wild, not too crazy, just a little bit, maybe a little bit more. Just gonna go back with my foundation brush in Petty Pet Pet. I'm gonna put a little of that 5.5 on my nose too. I love this concealer so much. I wish it wasn't so fucking expensive. The Armani Power Fabric don't have like heavy coverage or anything like that, but it's a natural coverage. Like they just look natural. I love it. So I'm going to brighten using the Ciate Everyday Vacay Setting Powder. So this is like pure white powder. I'm gonna use my Blendiful, my Tati Beauty Blendiful. I don't know if this is a holy grail product of mine per se, like the Blendiful. I don't have anything that picks up powder the same way, and that's pretty much the only thing I use this for. I don't use it to put makeup on. Like I don't apply any creams or anything like that with it. So I just lighten up my nose and just a little bit of my forehead too. Right there and there, because honestly, we're just getting a little too red around this area and it's just driving me nuts. I'm also going to go in with my Laura Mercier Translucent Setting Powder, and I'm going to kind of like set bake. You know, I used to not bake my smile lines, but turns out I can do that as long as I'm using the right products. And I'm actually just gonna pat in for the rest of my face with what's left on the blendable. Do I look crazy? I feel crazy. I don't feel like I look crazy. So I'm not like wild and crazy about baking. I'm just gonna like get that on out of there now. So to contour and to bronze, I'm gonna go back into this Linda Hallberg Infinity palette. So I am gonna go in with the color Cigar and I'm gonna contour. I kind of want to try that Scott Barnes method though. I haven't tried that yet. It seems like so involved. I guess now's the time to fuck up makeup. We're all locked up in quarantine. It's a little intense, so I'm not gonna lie. Went a little wild there. We'll just neat that up with the Blendiful a little bit. Cigar is this cool brown, just so multi-purpose. I used it on my eyebrows today. I use it as an eyeshadow. I use it to contour with. It's just such a natural color. I don't know how they did it. How'd you guys do it? How did you do it? Linda, tell us your secrets. These are so fucking perfect. These colors are so pigmented. Everything in this palette is got, I shouldn't even say it's so pigmented because it's not so pigmented. It is so blendable though, and you can get such crazy pigment out of it. I'm still trying to figure out how to contour my bulby nose because you see I have a little bulb on the front. Next I'm going to go in with this nameless brush. I'm not really sure what it is, but I know that like tons of you all have this brush set. So I'm going to go into the color Zwicky from the Linda Hallberg palette, and that is a much warmer tone of brown, almost a yellow, but somehow it turns it just becomes like a nice tan basically on me. Initially when I first got this palette, I thought, oh shit, I should have gotten deep. The blushes, they're not so poppy on me, but like I said, you can build stuff up, right? So initially I was like, oh shit, this is too pale. But I was so pleasantly surprised to find that you can build things up so nicely that it will work for my skin tone, no problem. Nearing the end now, I think next what I want to do is my bottom lash line. So I'm going to go back into those colors I was playing with earlier and just pop it in. I'm actually going to leave my waterline open. But I am, however, going to line my eyes using the Linda Hallberg again. You betcha. So I'm going to go into Fornax and I'm just going to line it using some spit. So I've got this here liner brush. I think I got this from Coastal Scents. It's the BRC N16. It's actually a terrible liner brush, but it happens to be the only one I have right now. So we're going to use it. I know that's gross, but just bear with me. You know, I actually bought a Linda Hallberg brush when I got this Linda Hallberg palette, and I found it a little too light for everything I wanted to do, but I have not actually tried to line my eyes with it. Not light, but soft. This is the 333 angled brush. Let's see how it does for liner. Really well. And I'm actually going to use it to tight line with. Look at that. Oh, that's brilliant. Ugh, what a dream. I just love this palette. I'm so glad I got this brush as well too. I actually was like a little miffed because I had originally gotten it as an eyeshadow or like an eyebrow brush, and I'm like, I'm constantly on the hunt for a good eyebrow brush. This one was not that, but oh boy, it makes an excellent liner brush. I didn't mean for this to be a review of something that I hadn't really tried yet, but otherwise, this is all holy grails, and this might actually be introduced as a holy grail for me as well too. I keep looking at myself because I'm like, wow, that liner went on really nicely. I'm very happy. Actually gonna go back in with another Lovecraft Beauty product. This is one of their blushes in the color Dauphine. I'm just gonna go in with this stipply brush from Coastal Scents, the BRC S55 brush. This is something I learned from Wayne Goss, and you just let it brush your eyelids, almost like let it brush across your eyelashes, and it just gives that nice subtle wash of color without being a streak of color. I really like this shade quite a bit because it's just like natural on me. It's like an apricot peach kind of thing. Let's highlight. So I'm actually gonna go into my Linda Hallberg palette. I'm gonna mix Vergio and Milky Way together. I'm gonna use this Luxie Pro Precision Tapered brush. This isn't necessarily like a favorite brush or anything like that. It's relatively new to me, but I like the shape. I like the density, and it just lets me put down and then buff. I'm not a big highlight fan. I do highlight, but I don't like those like crazy wild highlights on myself. I don't mind it on other people, like go for it. I'm not hating on you or nothing like that. I just don't think it looks great on me. This spot that I couldn't buff out properly, that I didn't buff out. I shouldn't say I couldn't buff it out. I just didn't do it properly. It was a really catching color and it's driving me nuts. So my eyes just keep getting drawn to right there. So if I do use a setting spray, I typically just kind of like go with something like this, like a matte finishing spray. Just get any kind of splotches out of there. So let me finish my eyebrows. So I'm going to go in with my $1 Billion brow gel. I have no particular attachment to this. Typically I actually use a brow gel to make my eyebrows look like eyebrows again. Like it'll gloss up each individual brow so that it'll catch a little bit more light and look less blocky. If you were to buy one thing this year, one intelligent makeup purchase, and I were to advise you on that, I would definitely say get yourself a Linda Hallberg Infinity palette. And like I said, they got a deep version as well too. So if you have deeper skin or you just want darker colors, go in there, get it. So we've got almost everything down. Let me do some eyelashes now. I don't have a favorite mascara. I have a favorite that I'm using right now. So we'll talk about that. So right now I'm using the Goddess Flutter Lash from Manakadar. So it's got this big old hourglass thing. I kind of like the shape of this. I like the texture of this as well. Like it's very watery. So right now, this is my go-to, but I bet you any money as soon as this starts to dry out, I don't give a shit about it anymore. I am going to go in on my lips with the Dose of Colors liquid lipstick in the color Stone. This is hands down my favorite liquid lip ever. I align my lips after putting my lipstick down. So I'm going to use this Makeup Forever Artist Color Pencil in the color Wherever Walnut. I prefer to line liquid lipstick after I've put it down because of the shape of my lips. I have been in love with these Makeup Forever pencils for years. I have a very small collection, probably about like not even 10 of them yet, but I'm like slowly collecting them bit by bit by bit. That's my look. I got all my favorite makeup on my face. I had so much fun putting it on. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're having a fantastic day and I'll see you in another video. Super, 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 okay? Bye. While my base sets in, I'm gonna go in with, what am I fucking looking at? I usually have my camera pointed the other way so the lens is like over there and I'm looking at this like blank fucking spot expecting the camera lens to be there and it's not because I'm stupid. It's not COVID, I swear. Keep looking at that, it's just a blank spot. Why do I keep looking there?